Today's demonstration is how to draw a bottle in correct perspective. You should have the bottle steps handout, the rubric, and how to create the illusion of a bottle. It's called Bottle Drawing in Pencil. Extras are available in the art survey bin of both of those, as well as this, which is where we're going to be taking this drawing exercise. First thing, I just practiced my ellipses and my straight lines because these are the building blocks for my bottle. Next step is once I was comfortable with my straight lines, I created a straight line that is just a light straight line that's parallel with the sides of my page. If you're kind of not able to do this lightly, then try to use a mechanical or a number 2 pencil, like what you would take a standardized test with, a number 2 pencil. And then it'll allow it's a harder pencil, allow your lines to be a little lighter. Okay. Next thing you want to do is you're going to create an ellipse. A set of ellipses for your cylinder, which will make up the body of the bottle. One here and one here. These ellipses have got to be the same size. They also should be the same shape. The argument in that is, well, if I'm looking down on the circle at the bottom of my bottle, isn't that rounder? Technically, it is, but I'm not requiring that because the difference in roundness is so slight that I'm just not requiring that you have that amount of kind of accuracy. The 2 ellipses being the same would be perfect. Okay. The next thing that you have to do is a little tricky because the next step has to do with proportion. How do I know, and this is good for the Van Goghs, the Picassos, and the Cezannes, how would I know how long to make the neck of the bottle? First, let's define what is considered the neck. The neck of the bottle is just the cylindrical part. Actually, I'm going to use yours because it's tougher. The neck of the bottle is just considered the cylindrical part. As soon as I start veering out, that's the transition here. Okay? So you're going to predetermine, maybe it's even by making a mark on your bottle where that transition begins, where your bottle gets slightly wider. Then what you're going to do, which is illustrated on your handout in step 3, is you're going to look at the whole height of the bottle from your point of view and visually measure using a pencil and your thumb as a stop mark to determine how many times this bottle top or this bottle neck fits into the entire height of your bottle. This is tricky. I never used to teach this in art survey, but the reason I do is because it's the key for drawing any other object. Okay? So what I would do is I would have my bottle set up on the tabletop like this. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to sit so I'm facing my drawing table, close the eye that's furthest away from my bottle, put my thumb as a mark exactly where that line is, or for the people that have spheres in the center of your bottle, it's a little bit easier because you can actually see a dark line there where the sphere transitions to the neck of the bottle. Close one eye, so the top of my pencil is visually lined up with the top of my bottle, and I'm going to count how many times the neck of the bottle fits into the entire height of the bottle. 1, 2, 3.5. So I know that my neck fits 3.5 times in the entire height of the bottle. So how do I transition that to paper? 1, literally with my fingers. 2, 3.5. So I know that that transition line starts right here. Okay? Next, I have to figure out the width. So I'm going to do that in the same way, except I'm going to turn the angle of my pencil the long way, like this. Girls in the back, can you see it? To get the width of the neck, because this applies to everybody, just like this. So from my point of view, I am going to measure the width of the neck and see how many times it fits in the width of my entire bottle. 1, 2, 3. So I know that the width in the neck of this bottle fits 3 times visually into the width of the body of the bottle. See? I can almost illustrate this here. 1, 2, 3. This is something we're going to have to practice. It's not easy to kind of understand how to measure with a pencil to find proportions. There's my height. Where's my width? At some point, something needs to be made up. I'm just going to make up the width of the neck of the bottle. I said it fits in 3 times. 1, 2. Oh, look. My body of my bottle isn't wide enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it a little wider with straight lines. One, 2. Still going to go a little wider with it. Just like that. That's the width of my bottle. So now I'm going to redraw the 2 ellipses that comprise the top and the bottom of the cylinder, which is the straight part of my bottle. Now, I have a couple different tops to figure, or transition areas to figure out. For this, your basic shape should be an egg. For this, your basic shape is a sphere, or that it will eventually be cut down to a hemisphere. So, if you have an egg-shaped bottle, you might have to practice your eggs. Something like that. For a sphere, of course, your proportions are going to be slightly different. It's going to look like that. Notice how many circles or how many spheres I created to get a drawing that kind of is has a symmetrical look to it. Kind of a lot. Okay? Then I'm going to finish up the neck of the bottle in the perspective as I see it. And right here, I will apply what I've already done, which is the top of my bottle with foreshortening. So, better idea to use a harder pencil or a mechanical pencil for the top of that. And then you're done with your bottle. You're done with creating that illusion of a three-dimensional form on a flat page. And so for the rest of the class, we're going to practice.